Hey everyone! So as you can see, there's a doll. And I got her off of eBay, and she's in pretty bad condition. She is a Kanani doll, so if you're wondering, that's what she's supposed to look like. And so I bought her because I thought I would fix her up and resell her on eBay. So this video is just kind of showing you the process. Alright, so I'm gonna give you the rundown of just how bad of a condition she's in. It's not too bad, but there are definitely some things that need to be fixed. Alright, so her limbs are pretty loose, and she has some shine marks on her face, and just overall her skin is pretty shiny. That means it's oily and dirty. And the biggest thing you can notice is her hair. It's really frizzy and kinky. It came in French braids. The ends are like really scraggly, so yeah. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna clean her limbs and stuff. I'm using a magic eraser, and all you have to do is just get it wet and wipe her down, so yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier that she has like this pink spot on her leg. You might be able to see it in these clips, but I'll get to that later in the video. Right now, I'm just cleaning her down, getting all the dirt out, and I actually used a bobby pin to get some gunk out of her mouth. It looked like it might have been lip gloss or something. And basically then I was done with cleaning her down, and I moved on to trying to fix the shine marks that you saw earlier. Okay, so it turns out I lost the footage for when I did the micro mesh on her face. So I'll just show you what I did really quick. So on the chart here, it shows you like the coarsest to the finest. I use this one, and that one. And so basically I started with the roughest first. So there's the shine mark right there. I took it and I just very gently rubbed in circles. The green one. And it actually scared me at first because, as you can see, it's making a lot of like shiny marks. But when I rubbed it down with the magic eraser at the end, it actually wasn't that bad. Alright, so if you've never seen one of these kind of videos, you have the right to be very confused right now. So you saw earlier how the limbs were very loose and I needed to tighten them. My camera does this weird thing where it stops videoing randomly, and so it did that for this clip and I didn't realize. And so I'm going to use clips of other YouTubers doing this so you can see what I did. So the first thing you do is you take off the head. And I'm not gonna lie, this always is a little bit creepy whenever I do it. My family's always like, "What are you doing? Why is the head off?" So after you take off the head, you take the stuffing out. And you'd be surprised about how much stuffing they can stuff into that tiny doll body. And so after that, you just take one of the limbs from the inside, and you can see there's like a string and a little white cap. And so what you do is you pull the string. So you take the rubber band and tie it around right in between the string and the cap. And I did this for all 4 of the limbs, so they were nice and tight. And then after that, I just put all the stuffing back in. And I made sure that all the stuffing was like evenly distributed throughout the body, because if it wasn't, sometimes it looks lumpy and the clothes don't fit right on them. So I made sure that it was nice and even. And you can see here that Forever and Always is putting the head back on right away. And usually I do that, but I didn't this time because when you're fixing up a doll, for some reason it's a lot easier sometimes to have the head separate. And so I just kept it off. And I put it back on later in the video. But if you are going to put the head back on, which you probably will if you're trying this, just make sure you tie the neck string really tight. Alright, so this next part is something I've never done before, and it's fixing the stain on her leg. So I've seen people do this before, and basically they get this acne medication with benzoyl peroxide in it, and basically you put it on the stain, put some plastic wrap over it so that it doesn't dry out, and you leave the stain out in the sun for a long time, and supposedly when you're done, the stain is gone, or at least faded. So after I was done, it definitely faded, but there was just one pink dot left, and I did actually try it again and put it out in the sun more, and it faded a little bit more, But long story short, it didn't go away completely, it just faded. And I didn't want to mess with it further and end up ruining it, so I just left it alone. Okay, 'tis the moment you've all been waiting for. Fixing the hair. So, first I brushed it out with a wire brush, and this was only to get all the tangles out and stuff before I started to mess with it. And then I started to wash it. So I used like a pretty mild shampoo and conditioner, and I left each in for a good amount of time. The conditioner I left in for a pretty long time. I cut the clips in between. I just rinsed all of it out, and I was careful not to get the water completely on her, like on the scalp, because I've heard that if you get water there, it could end up molding. I don't think that's true, but I don't know. I didn't want to risk it. And then after I was done, I just brushed it out again and patted it down with a towel. And then about her scraggly ends, I just trimmed it on the ends a little bit, like the tiniest bit. I didn't cut it more because whoever buys her might not want that much cut off, and if they want more cut off, I guess they always could themselves, so. And then after that, I just put in curlers, but my camera cut out again, and you won't see me putting them in. But here's me opening them. And then I did the hot water dunk. And this is basically to get her curls back in permanently. So I put her hair in curlers and got some boiling water. By the way, don't do this without parent supervision, please. I don't want kids burning their hands off because of me. Please don't do that. Anyway, I just dunked the curls in the boiling water in and out, and then once that was done, I put it into some ice cold water to cool it down, because the hair is made of plastic and the really hot water melts the plastic, and then when it cools in the cold water, it cools down and sets into the shape it's in. And then when that was done and her hair kind of dried a bit more, I just plopped the head back on and tied the neck string. And sorry if you can't see what I'm doing, I didn't realize I was out of frame. So now she has a head back on her body. Yay. Okay, this clip is from several days after I just let the hair dry completely, and I just left it in curlers the entire time. And now it was time to take them out. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. And here's a look at the back of her head with them all taken out. I think it turned out really good. I actually wasn't expecting it to turn out this good. But yeah, and then just to test it out, I brushed very gently around each curl, like how I would any doll with curly hair, just to see if it would stay. And it did. It held its curl after I wrapped it around the brush and stuff. Okay, sorry if the lighting is weird. I got Kanani's meat outfit separately off of eBay, and so I put it on her. She's been kind of just hanging around for a few weeks, and so I'm going to retouch her hair up a little bit, and then I'm going to do one last wipe down with the magic eraser. Okay, so I did everything I'm gonna do for her and I put her in the dress. So I'm just gonna give you a quick little rundown of how she is. So her face is pretty much free of any shine marks. So with the micro mesh, it got rid of the shine mark, but it just kind of faded it a little bit. Like you can kind of see that one a little bit right there, but it's not that bad at all. And then her nose had a big scratch on it. I tried to get rid of it as much as I could, but it has that tiny little like mark right there, but it's not shiny or anything. You can barely see it. The stain on her leg, it definitely faded a little bit, but it didn't go away completely. And I just decided to leave it alone because I didn't want to ruin anything. Her head, her limbs, like the whole thing's clean. The curls are back and they're pretty good. You can see the curls are there and they're really bouncy. They stay. Like even after I brushed it with water and stuff, they still stayed. The hair itself, like it's not shiny or glossy like dolls come when they're new, but I guess that's something I couldn't really avoid because she's not new, she's secondhand. So I did trim the ends of it a tiny bit to get rid of a lot of dry split ends, but like I barely cut it. And so whoever buys it, if they want to cut it more, they can. I put a little baby pigtail in her hair, like how she comes when she's in the box. I just didn't have the flower that's usually there. I'm about to go take pictures for the listing, and yeah.